Good morning. My name is Ron Larson. I'm here to very briefly, introduce a new tool we have in the library called the Gale Virtual Reference Library, or GVRL. First off, I want to show how we get there. This is our school webpage. There's a couple ways. You could either go from the schools or else we could go from district. We'll go to district. We'll scroll down to Library Media Center. We'll go to the high school, and there it is. The tool we're going to be looking at is the Gale eBooks, but before we do that, I want to go through a couple other sites first briefly to give you a little introduction to what we have in the library. First off, under Spartan Library News, we have my blog. We have, and the first one is Anne McCaffrey. Every month I release a new one, Dr. Seuss, based on probably authors' birthdays. We also have John Steinbeck. We have Edgar Allan Poe. We have a lot of neat information on each of these blogs. They include sites. They include links to more information. Okay, we're back here. If you look on the other side, we have date and history. For example, today, a former Milwaukee Brewer, Hank Aaron, hit his record-setting home run. We also have, what I'm going to do is go back again. Poem of the day, word of the day, and one I really like is NASA picture of the day. If you take a look at that, we'll see the night sky over Lapland. If you'd want to scroll down, you could see they have links to more information or similar pictures. Anyway, those are just a couple of sites available on the library landing page, and I'm going to go back to the library homepage, and we're going to go with Gale eBooks. Okay, this is, you're going to see shortly what it looks like. We have listed 16 separate databases. What I want to do is briefly go through them. If you take a look and you scroll over them, you'll get the title and then a paragraph description of each one. Now, you could read those for yourself, but we have American Decades. We have Ancient Greece and Roman History. We have Arts and Humanities through the Eras. We have Encyclopedia of African American Culture. Encyclopedia of the Great Depression, Europe History, 1450 to 1789. We have American Lit. We have World Literature. We also have Human Diseases and Conditions. We have the New Catholic Encyclopedia. Now, this is an interesting reference because not only does it have, obviously, about the Catholic Church, but it has about history, literature, art, architecture, stories, and culture for the past 2,000 years. It's a very good reference site. We have Renaissance, History for Students, Shakespeare for Students, criticisms of all his plays and stories. We have Gale Encyclopedia of Psychology. This is a wonderful reference for AP Psychology students, as is this one. Let me go back for a second. Okay, as is this one for APUSH, World History. And last, we also have Encyclopedia of World Mythology. And lastly, we have over here the World War II Reference Library. Now, to log on to these, it allows you on here. You probably saw that for a second, that dialog box. I'll show what we're going to be doing. If you want to research all 16 databases at one time, we could just go here. And, for example, I saw a movie a few weeks ago, The Hobbit. Let's just type that in and see what we get. We have The Hobbit. And, okay, like I said, if you're going to log in, you need a password, and it's not a secret one. It is Spartan, S-P-A-R-T-A-N, Spartan. The name of the password is Spartan. And so we log in, And let's just look at the first 4 that we have here that came up. Obviously, we have Encyclopedia of World Literature because the author, J.R.R. Tolkien, was British. The second one is the New Catholic Encyclopedia. They've got an article dealing with that. The third one is from Encyclopedia of American Literature. And the fourth one is from Encyclopedia of World Mythology. So if you're getting information on The Hobbit or J.R.R. Tolkien, you've got 4 separate resources that you could click on and get information about. But let's go back to the home page for this, our virtual reference library. Now if you take a look here, instead of having arranged alphabetically in a grid style, we have them listed by genre. If you look on the right over here, you see the subjects. Those are mirrored over here. We have art. We have about 7 of them listed for history. We've got literature. We've got medicine, multicultural studies, nation and world, and religion, and social studies. So we've got quite a varied and valuable resource list there. Let's say you're doing a report and you need information from the Human Disease and Conditions book. Okay, all you have to do, just for this one, if you go over here where it says Tools, you could look up what you want. In this case, let's say it's halitosis. Okay, we've got halitosis. We're going to look that up in just this, the Human Diseases reference. If you look over to the left over here, we've got 3 different articles that we could look at. One, obviously, called halitosis. The second, impacted teeth. And the third, gum disease. Let's take a look at the halitosis one, since that's what we're doing a report on. Okay, if you look over to the right, you're going to see a variety of resource tools. And I want to briefly go through what some of these tools are and how to use them. We're going to look at how to print your article, how to save it, how to cite it, and maybe how to either take notes or put it, save it into a folder. These are just basic things that I'm sure any of you could probably figure out, but let's just take a look. Obviously, if you want to print it, you would just hit the icon. You can highlight and print just what you need, or if you want, you could just do what all you are pretty normally capable of doing, is just printing from this screen here. Now, don't need this, so I'm not going to print it, but that's how you would want to do it. Let's say you want to download and save it. You could save it onto your Google Drive. If you look up here, you can sign in with Google. You probably should be automatically logged in if you signed under your name. Or else you could download it as a personal file or a hypertext. Okay, the next tool we're going to be looking at. Let's say you want to email it to your school account for a reason. You could certainly do that. You would type up here your school address, pick your text. If you'd want to work on citation format, you could also add that as well. Speaking of which, if you need to cite this for a report that you're doing, you have the proper and correct format for either the MLA or the APA. And you could also export it over to EasyBib or RefWorks or whatever site you might be required to. Or else at the bottom you could see you could just save it to your Google Drive as well. Now let's say you want to save this and work on it later. Well, you could just go down here to save, click that. You see the check mark, so you know that this article is saved, but where would you find it? If you look up here, we have Advanced Bookmark and More. Let's just click on More. You'll see Help, Dictionary, Search History, Highlights, Notes, etc. Go down to My Folder. Let's click that. And you'll see that you have the saved article there that you can work with, edit at your convenience. Okay, now I won't be needing this, so I'm just going to delete it. And let's go back to our list again. Okay, what I did today, I briefly went through the 16 databases we have. We showed you how to search all of them up here, Search Collection. Otherwise, you could pick and choose which one you'd want to. You would click on that, and on the right you would see a pop-up box where you would search it there. We went through some of the basic tools printing, saving, citing, saving to a folder. Obviously, there's more you could go through. If you have any questions at all, please ask myself, Mr. Larson, and I would be more than happy to run through some of these with you and give you any help that I can. I thank you very much, and have a good rest of the day.